feel like this wind is blowing right on me, but that's okay.
Maybe we should shut it off.
Is this hitting you nicely?
I guess, Joe. I can't see from here.
Yeah.
That's your thing. That's not my thing. That's your thing.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I was born ready.
Okay.
You're stupid.
Oh, I have my book here.
No, look at that. You're special.
Should I hawk it?
We should show everyone your book.
I should hawk it.
You should hawk it.
Yeah.
Everybody hawks everything.
I know.
Let's put it in front of mine. There
At
you
least
go.
it's my stuff, not other people's
There you
stuff.
go. A lot of sweat.
Something like this?
Tears and time went into that.
It's a lot of time went into that. All right, here we go. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time, but I'm not alone today, am I? Today I have a little bit of misty morning. Fabiola, my wife, has some fireside. Not that I'm hawking my teas or not, but I am. Go buy some tea. Go buy some tea. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? How's everybody?
So good. Can you believe this? This is the first time, guys, in the last, I guess it's been about 1.5 2 years I've been doing the channel. The first time I've ever had my beautiful wife on the show. So,
thanks.
Yeah, it's okay. So today we're going to be talking about basically what she does and what I do and how we do it together. That's basically what we're going to be talking about. There's a lot of questions that we got in, and I want to try to hit on some of them. Probably not going to get to all of them. And if you guys like this, even a little bit, thumbs up it. And then in the comment area, let us know that you liked it and you want to see more of Fabiola on the show and not my mug all the time, right? Because that gets old. I know,
This
guys.
could happen.
I know. It could happen. It could happen. So, like I said, today we're going to be talking about what Fabiola does. Obviously, we're both creatives. We've been doing this for about 3 decades, all right? It's been a long damn time. Long time. But we work together on a lot of projects, and some of you guys know that based on what I've told you. So we're going to be talking about that kind of stuff. While we're talking, in the comment area below this video, any questions that you have for maybe another one. Well, we could do another one. If there is another
We have
one.
a lot to say.
Yeah, put those questions down there, all right? Don't forget to do it. And before I get into any of this, I want to say that if you haven't downloaded any of my ebooks as of yet, go check them out. Go over to JCristina.com/books. Once again, JCristina.com/books. One of them is the prologue to this book. Do you love it? Look at that. A lot of time, right? A lot of time went into this one.
Matches my shirt. I like it.
It does. Both of our shirts, I think.
Look
I don't
at
know.
us.
Look
We're
at
like
that.
color
How to
coordinated.
create a digital Fort Knox, backing up your digital life. As content creators, we make a crap ton of data. You need to back the stuff up, and a lot of people don't.
Yeah, and then they end up losing their valuable things,
Yeah.
which nowadays are all on
How
the
many
computer.
pictures and videos do you have on your phone right this moment?
Probably close to 2,000 pics.
When was the last time you backed it up? See that face?
6 months, 7 months ago. Because it's a process. It's a procedure.
See, guys, the shoemaker goes without shoes, right? I tell her what to do, she doesn't do it. Okay, so
Well, it goes both ways. I tell you what to do and you don't do it.
that's
so,
true too. That's true too.
You know.
I ask her for a haircut because she does do hair and makeup, right? She is a hairstylist, cosmetologist, and sometimes my hair is jacked like it is today.
No, it looks good.
Oh, come on. It's
Yeah,
a wreck.
It's nice. No, it's
You
good.
gotta get on it.
It's not bad.
Anyways, I got some of the questions on here, but before I get into it, I want to hear like kind of your little bit of the backstory.
My
of
spiel?
Your spiel. Your 15-second elevator pitch. What is
I
it?
don't know if I have a 15-second elevator pitch.
You
I
need
feel
to
like
have
I have
one.
a 1-hour elevator
Okay,
pitch.
all right. Well,
who
just
am
quit.
I? I am Fabiola Cristina, and obviously I'm your wife for how long? 28 years. And
bit.
I have had, I want to say, a lot of different careers and titles, but the longest title held as hair and makeup artist has been for about 24 years now.
That's a bit.
Just a little bit.
That is a little bit. That is a little bit. All right, let's get into some of these. So someone said, how long have you been doing hair and makeup? Obviously, you said this. This is quite a long time. I've been doing this for a long time, too, for about the same amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Sometimes we do it on and off.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Someone asked, when you're working together, the two of us, what type of projects do you work on?
I mean, it's different, as a freelancer and working for yourself, you do everything that you need to do, whether it's a small project, a small shoot, a wedding, a party, just someone that needs education and training for themselves, their own personal, goals or whatever, just anything really.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever put a limit on as to what we do under our titles. And I think a lot of people, which is fine. Some people like to specialize in just certain things, but I think that as a freelancer, sometimes you just have to do a little bit of everything to make money.
No, absolutely. I mean, we've done things like fashion shoots, boudoir, modeling stuff, gala events. Fabiola has done a lot of, she is a celebrity makeup artist, so that's a lot of times who she's working on, but we will do all types of projects. We did a fashion shoot one year. What was it, an island? It was like a deserted island looking thing, right off of the coast of
Key Biscayne or something.
Key Biscayne or something.
I don't even remember.
It was like a private island.
It was cold. All I remember was cold models in the water, and
I don't even know how they did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Fabiola did all of the hair and makeup for the models, and I did all of the photography. We're shooting Hasselblads that day, and it was like a really big event. Matter of fact, a partner of mine, Trevor Current, he was down, flew down for that event too, which was that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But so the projects are anything from really small to extremely large gala events where there's 500 people. So there's a lot of different things that we do for sure. Another question is, do people know that you guys are married when you're working together?
Yes,
I love that.
Funny.
That's a cool question. That is a cool question.
So I'm going to take it back. Years ago, it felt like it was best not to let people know that we were married. For me, it almost always came across like, oh, well, she's not a professional. She's just helping her husband out. And, so for me, I never said anything. But then, as time went on and you're just like, yeah, whatever. Like, this is what I do. I bring my own, talent to the table. So I don't need to downplay my skills because we're married. So.
Right. And then sometimes we wouldn't tell people that we're married because then it might be a kind of weird feeling like, oh, these two,
Not as professional.
As professional, right? It doesn't feel as professional then. Whereas a lot of folks out there are married to a partner that they work together with. It definitely is a skill. And it is not something that you just have. Some people will never have it, but it is a skill to be able to work together. And many times we would work on a project. I remember one, we were doing a book cover. Right. And they did not know that we were a husband and wife team at all until later on, literally after the shoot was all over and I was sending in proofs and everything. And it's like, oh, that was your wife? Don't even know. So
that was the best.
Yeah, we work on set a lot together, and we've done it together like that people just never know that we are married or anything. So, but now, like you said, I think we've grown a lot over the last 3 decades where we really don't care anymore. It's like, this is my wife.
3 decades?
Yeah, shut up. It's a bit. Yeah. 3 decades, guys. 3 decades. So, but we've grown a lot, and now it really doesn't make a difference. I mean, I don't really care if people know, if they don't know.
Also, though, I think that when you work as a husband and wife team, you have to learn to leave husband and wife at the door, and then you work off each other's strengths when it comes to business. Like, how you work. And obviously being husband and wife, it helps, but you have to leave that personal part of it in the background. So that's a hard skill to do for some people because shoots can be emotional, which some people don't think they can, and they can. You have to have a balance. Yeah,
I think one of the times that we started saying that we were husband and wife, when I started doing a lot of boudoir sessions, right?
Yeah.
I've always done fashion photography. Originally, when I first started, I was doing front cover magazine work, paste up and layout. This was way back in the day, many, many moons ago. But when I started doing some boudoir work, it was very nice and very comforting for the woman that we were working with, or even a man that sometimes we would do couples, but especially for a woman to know that this is my wife that's going to be doing the hair and makeup and fashion styling and whatnot behind the scenes, so that I'm not like some creepy guy taking these photographs. And it would put the woman very much so at ease, and they would be able to just, the images that we would get and the books that we would make for them were always amazing. And we haven't done that in quite some time. But another question came in: how is it when you work with photographers or other creatives?
So I have a lot to say about that.
Oh God.
So obviously I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of photographers, and I'm always a little biased because obviously I work with you and I know how you work and your professionalism. And I've had a lot of good experiences, great photographers I've worked with, but obviously I'm going to talk about the not so great, experiences, which it isn't super bad. It's just, I think it's a matter of professional respect between people, especially people, whether it's a makeup artist, hairstylist coming in, a fashion stylist, a photographer. You're coming into a group. Sometimes you don't even meet these people until the day of. So respecting each other's space. One of my biggest pet peeves, which he knows, is when a photographer comes in, like just fluting and flying on wings, I'm here, I'm the greatest, and starts touching my kit and moving my things around. I'm just like, what just happened? What are you doing? Would you like me to touch your $5,000 lens and move it around? You don't even know me. Ask, and so respect and people not having couth just really doesn't jive well.
This, I've seen that a lot, when we would go to different events and work with different photographers and videographers are the same thing. They want to get the shots. Let's say a perfect example, let's say you're doing a wedding, right? And you're doing the behind the scenes of the getting ready.
Even with fashion shoots.
Even with fashion shoots.
Same thing.
Absolutely. And the photographer or the videographer wants to get all those cool shots of the process going on. And then what they want to do is they want to get the shots of all of the equipment, all of the little palettes of color. And that just looks beautiful photographically or through video. So they would go in there and they would do all kinds of stuff and move stuff around. And I know you would get pissed all the time. It's like, don't touch all of my stuff.
So first of all, I don't know you. You don't know me. So how about, hi, how are you? My name is so-and-so. I'm going to be working with you today and vice versa, because that's the type of person that I am. I obviously, as a creative, I want you to get the shots and it's going to look amazing for the client. So introduction would be great. A little humility would be great. And, would it be okay? At that point, then absolutely. Sure. You had the manners to say, I'm so-and-so, and do you mind? And of course, I want you to get the shots. And don't move me out of the way after I'm the one who gets there at the earliest possible moment and set up so that I can do what I have to do. And you come flying in like a kite and start moving things around like if I wasn't even here and I'm down here and you're up here. It's just not okay.
No, absolutely. So I know there was a question, I didn't even write it down, but there was a question that I got. I forgot where it was, but it had to do with what is the reasoning behind hiring an MUA or a licensed cosmetologist or a hair and makeup artist. Why would you hire them? What is the reason? Can't you just have your client do it themselves, or you do it? You powder them and do this and that. And I would always say that, the reason you hire someone like yourself is because you want the absolute best images, doesn't matter if it's video or photo, of your client possible, number one. But number two, as the creative, as the photographer or videographer, you want to do the least post-production possible. You want to get it right in camera every single time. There's too many creatives out there that today feel the need to be able to just shoot, spray and pray, and just hope for the best. And then later on in post-production, we'll crop in and we'll do this and we'll change the color and we'll alter this and all the rest of the stuff. We can go and put a little bit of extra makeup on. Well, why do all that? Get it right. You're going to spend
so much money, much money. And honestly, it sounds great in theory, but from my perspective, obviously, I'm selling a service. It's more than just the post-production. You want the client to kind of transform, to feel confident and ready for this shoot. So not only am I going to help them look better, but it's a feel emotional again. And also, the better my work is, then the better
my work will look,
right.
Basically.
And then also you don't have to spend so much time, which in turn is loss of revenue.
Yeah, see, I love that. That's something that I wouldn't get into or think about, but that is so true, because if I can fix it after the fact, that's fine, but that doesn't fix the client at that moment to feel his or her best.
Yeah, and it comes across the camera. I mean, you see it all the time.
Absolutely. And when someone feels like they are looking good, it will come out that way.
Right.
You don't have to pull it out as much. So yeah, that is definitely a second part to it.
I don't think a lot of people get that there's a switch, and obviously doing what I've done, from everyday people to the top-notch people, there is a switch. And I truly believe the switch starts when I start working. Once I'm done, it's almost like, okay, the persona or whatever it is that they need to bring to their performance, job, whatever it is ready when they get up from my chair. And you can see it. You can definitely see it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that doesn't mean that it's only, like you said, someone that's like up here.
No,
one of the,
just everybody.
Like an actor or an actress. Right. I mean, we've worked on many actors and actresses over the years. They bring their A game all the time.
Yeah, but
even them, as soon as they get all done up and they know,
and they look in the mirror, it's like, okay,
now I'm on, and that's it.
Right.
That's like a lot of the you work with, and we've all worked with a lot of people that are TV personalities. They're in movies or whatnot. When, let's say, if they are a TV personality, when they put that jacket on, right, all of a sudden things change a little bit. They just feel like, okay, I'm here now. Or the tie, or whatever is their thing, the dress, whatever
hair,
it is.
Like, just everything. It's all
and now their hair and makeup is
yeah.
done, and their hair is perfect.
Usually
and they
I
just
see
feel
the
good.
switch once they look in the mirror.
Right.
Like,
it's like, oh, all right.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm ready to go and rock and roll. And it's funny because talking about celebrities and higher echelon people, you had asked me, or someone asked, who, like, your favorite person to work on.
Right.
And to be honest, throughout all these years of working with a lot of people, to me, it's the everyday person, because they're really appreciative of your job and what you do and what you're helping them to, accomplish for whatever the event is. So I appreciate that more than people that are like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, you're great. You're the best. And then they'll just, get the next person because they can,
Right. No, I have to second that for sure. I've worked with a lot of stars, a lot of actors, a lot over the last, 3 decades. And probably, if I took that question and thought about it, probably my favorite was kind of what I was referring to earlier, was one woman that we worked with, doing a shoot with, that literally was transformed, basically, and was like a new person. And to actually see someone appreciate what you do so much and just almost just give it back, and you just see them like they light up, number one, but they're forever transformed by that session that we did with them.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. Yeah. It's something that you can't
put money on that.
You cannot put money on that.
And that's when I would say, okay, what is... what's the best part of your job? I think those are the moments that are the best times for me. When I see that the client's like, okay, this is like, so it's great.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I know on the show, you guys have heard me a lot of times talk about working down at Trump's place. And some people will ask about that. They're like, well, you were working there. Was he the president? And when we were working there, for the most part,
that was way before that.
He wasn't the president.
No.
And we're literally about, 25 minutes away, right down the road from his house where he is. And there's a lot of gala events that we've done there, from fashion shoots to big 500 people, massive events. And we've done that for 20 plus years, before, he was even the president. And now, anything that we do at that location is just so hard to get in. You can't move around. You have to
it's a whole other time and world. And that's another thing too, like, who do you work for? People always ask, or, a lot of times we can't say who we work for. And then a lot of times people think, oh, that's because like you don't work for anybody. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. But also I think for me, the most important about me not name dropping is that I want clients to hire me for who I am and what my skill set, what I bring to the table, not who we've worked on or who we've talked to, because that's not reflective of all the years of hard work that we've put into our careers.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, for sure. Yeah. There's a lot.
So I'm pretty confident that I don't have to say, oh, I work with so-and-so, or I worked with this person and I did this. I'm I know what I do and what I can bring. So if you want me, it's because you want me.
And a lot of the amateur photographers that are watching the show, they won't know this, but the pros will. Many times when you do a gig, there is NDAs that are signed, non-disclosure agreements. And at that point, you're saying, with your signature, I will not discuss X, Y, and Z. And that's just how it is. So there's a lot of times that we really just,
And it's not even just about like the status. It's also about security. People don't get it, and like I would say probably security has always been an issue, but I would say in the last 15 years, in the last 5 years, people have just gotten nuts. And with the expansion of the internet and Instagram and Twitter and all the things, you really have to be careful of, who knows what, when, where, and why.
Yeah, exactly. Where you're going to be.
Especially, we have a family, so my concern, there's some people that do know, who, what, when, where. Yeah. But I'm very careful of who I say.
I remember years back, I was working in a home pretty close to Trump's house down there. And it's literally a conservatory of art. And there's NDAs involved. You can't talk about it, but literally Monet, Seurat, Van Gogh, just tons of artwork.
Stuff that you would never even
think me,
of.
as a fine artist, as someone that went to school for commercial art, advertising design, photography, videography, and all the rest, seeing the original paintings, not behind glass, literally hanging on a wall, was it's awe-inspiring. It's absolutely amazing in just a home, But you can't talk about where it is or anything about it.
You want to because it's amazing and you want to share with everybody what you've done,
and
who
you
you've
can't
seen,
even talk
who
about
you've
it.
met, but you can't.
And you can't, I remember a lot of times I would go there and half the photographs that I was able to take were underneath a stairwell with only certain paintings and certain artwork.
I know, but then you're surrounded by all this amazingness and you have to stay right here, keep it here.
You flip 180, right, yeah. It's just, but you can't talk about a lot of this stuff. So, and even me on the show, I can't say all the stuff that I do. I just kind of allude to it and kind of just a little bit here and there, but you really can't do it. And just like you said, to me, it doesn't matter. And I think I really want people to hire me for my work that I do today. Because I think that as creatives, you are only as valuable or as good as the last job that you did. Not what you did 10 years ago, not what you did 20 years ago. It really doesn't matter. What can you do for me today? That's what a lot of clients want to know. And if you cannot produce...
And if you're I think humble, because I think you have to be a humble person. Obviously, I have an ego, you have an ego, we all have an ego, we're artists. But no one wants to work with a nasty person, a stuck-up person, You want to bring your work, but also they have to like you because you are capturing all these things. So you have to be likable, If not, absolutely. It's not fun for the client. So,
So the question that we got to was, how do you balance your work with our lives, basically, family and work? How do you make that balance?
I mean, I don't think it's balanced. I mean, we try. I think we try. I think you have to always work at it. I don't think it's ever we have the perfect balanced life. I think we've made our family definitely a priority. And there's times where we've not taken jobs, passed up opportunities, because that's, our balance for us, I think, is putting family first. So
Yeah, no, absolutely.
we made a lot of sacrifices sometimes.
Lots of sacrifice. And a lot of times, like you said, we do not take, jobs because of, for family.
Yeah.
But, I guess balancing the two, I think as creatives, we are our work, which is really crappy, but it kind of is the case.
Yeah.
You view yourself as a creative and you conduct yourself as creative, and us both being creatives is not an easy thing. Yeah, it's not an easy thing because, if you have someone that's very mathematical, analytical, and someone that's artistic and they're exact opposite, you're like, yeah, whatever. The difference between us both being creatives, we actually bring the work home and we're constantly discussing things. Yeah. And what ends up happening is instead of just being a partner, you become like a best friend. And you're bouncing stuff constantly. Yeah. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? That type of thing. And I think that's really important.
I think we're also always creating. Because we're always talking about the same similarities. So we're always coming up with ideas, and it's kind of hard to shut that off sometimes. Yeah. But then we have fun. It's not like we don't enjoy what we do. Right. So
yeah, I guess it's a really great question. There is a balance.
There is a balance, but I just don't think that it's ever perfect. And I think it's like the ocean. There's times where it's like, okay, good balance, and then other times where it's like, depending on what the job is or what's going on, you just flew off.
It's much.
It's just you lost the balance because you're, concentrating on this. So obviously, if you're doing this is going to slack a little bit. Yeah. I know it's a work in progress all the time, I think.
Absolutely. I know if I get into some of the stuff that I do, but not on the creative side, more on the system administrator side, more on the computer geeky side, because I am both. That's exactly what she does. So she'd be like, yeah, Joe, tell me about what that server that you were building today, and I'll be like 5 sentences into it and she'll be sleeping.
When he's talking about this, I'm like, this.
Yeah, this was a lot. This was a lot of nights putting this thing together for sure.
This is when he goes into the nerdery. I call it the nerdery, and then I kind of tune out a little.
Yeah, and then we're not talking anymore. But and then you're sleeping.
You're talking.
I'm talking, but you're not, and you're not listening.
I kind of left the building for a little bit. It happens.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you for being on this show.
You're welcome.
I want to know,
did we get all the?
I think so. You know what? You look just in case there's anything else. And I just want to say to you guys, if you like this kind of stuff, like I said at the beginning, in the comment area, put any type of questions that you have. Let us know if you want to do this again. If you have anything that you want to ask about, what we do, just any questions at all. We're pretty much open books. We talk about this stuff all the time. Obviously, some things we won't be able to talk about, but we can give you I don't know.
We have a lot to say. A lot more. If you want to hear it. To be continued.
Yeah. Anything?
Wildcard Flex on Instagram said, how did you, Joe, and your wife get into your respective fields?
Oh, wow. You take that one.
So we're going way back again. I graduated high school. I decided not to go to college. I decided to just work and learn as much as I could working. So I got into banking and accounting, worked for a few different places. I've had a lot of different jobs. Yeah. And then decided shortly after we got married that I was going to go to cosmetology school. And, at first it was like, I'm going to open up my own salon. But time changes, and I think we're both very goal oriented and we want more. I want more. So I was like, just being in a chair in a salon, which is great. It's awesome. Everybody has their own, things that they want to achieve. I wanted more.
Yeah.
So I just kept going, and I don't know, it just evolved, and here I am.
You went from doing the cosmetology school, finished that, and then moved into actually working for a lot of different major brand companies, flying all over the place, doing speaking gigs, and
Yeah.
you were like, international makeup artist, basically traveling, from the islands
for 17 years doing that as well. But also, like what I was talking about earlier, that as a freelancer and working for yourself, I have always had one foot in working for myself and one foot out working for other people. I think it's been a great advantage and it's helped me throughout the years, but it's definitely a humbling experience always, because when you work for yourself, you say who, you say when,
right.
You're the boss. But then when you have to flip a switch and work for other people, all of a sudden you have to, kind of be at the back end and the bottom, and that can be a little hard. But I love what I do, so you just keep pushing forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I started out. I went from high school into college. I did 3 different colleges. I went to originally I was studying psychology, child psychology, and then I started doing the computer science stuff. And then finally, I went to school for commercial art and advertising design, as well as the video and photo work. And then finally finishing that up, I started working on a magazine, doing paste up and layout. At one time, it was paste up and layout, doing front cover magazine covers and whatnot. And from that, I ended up building my own computer company, and I ran that for 13 years. Yeah. And while it was very lucrative, it was just not creative and stifling and just horrible. I shouldn't say horrible. It was horrible.
It was a business.
It was business, Yeah. And then finally, I'm like, I gotta do something creative, artistic. I can't do it, and that's when I started my company doing, the photography, videography, and everything else. And then from that, I started making products and inventing products, putting things out there for, all photo products.
Right,
so
right.
From the focus pyramid to the PRT to all of the Aurora camera care stuff, multiple brands, patents, and all the rest of this stuff. So we got our hands into.
Which reminds me, I forgot too. I've done the skincare that I still haven't finished, but working on that. And our most important thing that we've created is our kids.
Yep.
We've done all this in our 20s with kids, and so I guess there's that work balance. So we've always put our kids first.
Yeah. I mean, we started everything at the ages of like 20, 21, really, really early.
Yeah.
So now our oldest is going to get married by the end of this year.
Yeah.
So, and then second, probably soon after. And
like
then,
I said, we have a lot to talk about.
We have a lot.
If you want to hear some more.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Being here. First time, like I said, in like 2 years. If there's anything else that you have, any kind of questions, doesn't matter for either one of us. And like I said,
Instagram.
That's right, Instagram, or you can send it in the comment area, YouTube, whatever. Let us know, and maybe we'll do another one of these. Maybe we'll do one once a month or something, or whenever. We'll see.
Let's see. I'll put you in my schedule.
Yeah, I'll have to book her. I don't know. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here. Appreciate you all coming. Many blessings to all of you. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.